Good evening, everyone. It is July 11th, 2023. Late video and probably a short one because there is no plan for tomorrow. CPI 8:30, 10-year at 1:01 p.m. and the base book at 2 p.m. What I would imagine is that we have a healthy amount of volatility between 8:30 and about let's call it 11:30 into the euro close. But after that, I think we'd just be waiting on that 10-year data and then base book as well. And then we might get a bit of pickup into the close around power hour. Tomorrow will be a tradable day, but just PPI on Thursday and Friday, University of Michigan. I think the inflation report or something like that. Can't remember. Anyway, what did we have today? Well, coming into the day, what I was looking for was, and maybe this would be better if we broke this down into the 5-minute time frame for a second. What I'd mentioned was that we had nearly zero trade under yesterday's high during the Globex session, and meanwhile the Nasdaq was repeatedly bid off of last week's close. However, it was failing to gap up. So on the ES we had a nice gap up, the NQ not so much. And what I was looking for was if we broke the overnight high, statistically meaning that had a low chance of breaking the overnight low. And what I was looking for was a move to 65, and that was about it. I was looking for a high of the day somewhere around 65 to 75, and that's what we got. The high of the day ended up being, what is this? What are these, 5-minute candles? Yeah, high of the day ended up being 78. So I took the previous day's high for a long, sat around in it, eventually got my move up to 1R. I was playing that long against the overnight low. Now, going back to the higher time frames, what I was interested in was if we would fail here or not, or use it as support to come up to this next major level. Now, last week, we did not get a point of control shifting down as we slid down into the lows. We did not get any sort of significant accumulation at these lows, or short covering, whatever you want to call it. Instead, we left that weekly point of control up at, I think, 44.84, somewhere around there. So what I'll be looking for is, and again, we're playing with a thin market, so I wouldn't really look for this to be the be-all, end-all for tomorrow. But what I'll be looking for is for some sort of sell pressure off of that 85-ish number, especially being it's the key of our balance highs, as we saw, and as I mentioned as we were arriving there in the middle of June. And now, a full month later, coming back up here, I would suspect that this breaks and move upwards to this 45.20 to 40 area. And let's take a look at that on higher time frames. I'm looking at kind of above these highs, getting into kind of this box up here on the upside. This sort of major area from September, when we had the big sell-off in September 2021, where we caught bids going into the end of the year in 2021, and where our major offers were. So I think we'll come up to somewhere around this 45.20-ish area. I doubt we get into 4,600 tomorrow. That'd be a large move. Similarly, on the Nasdaq, we at first did have a sell off of this zone, and we did end up breaking last week's low, eventually recovering it, and now that is our support. You can see during Globex, we spent several hours now churning around that 260 number. Today, what I was looking for was a move into 280, and for a rejection somewhere around 260. I think I got that. Wrong chart. Yeah, pretty close. 250. 250, and we tagged 279. So came pretty close to the to that 280 target. And I was looking for a fade. However, now we're staying bid off 260. So overall, kind of a nothing burger video for you guys. And if you could tell, not too planned either, because again, not looking to trade this. What I will be looking for is if we, let's put it in a couple scenarios here. If we break the current high of the year sitting at about 44.94, if we break that, what I'll be wanting to see going forward is us to hold this 45.85 area, but really I don't want to see us getting much below 44.60. I don't really want to see that happening. In that case, I think you'd be looking at a liquidation scenario down to this 43.85, down to 43.20, the 43.27, and all that sort of stuff. Same thing on the Nasdaq. Once we break this high of the year, way over here, important to note, Nasdaq's still making lower highs for relative to that high of the year from mid-June. Once we break upwards, I don't really want to see this lose 340. Really, I don't want to see it lose 260. And if the reason that 260 number has been so important is this really isn't too hard to see. If we scroll back here, what are these highs? 260, 260, 260, 260, highs around 260, bid around 260, bids around 260, more bids around 260. Clearly, this 260-ish area has been important. 260 about 300, and that has been the major zone that I've been watching here. About 260 at this black box here to about 300. So that's what I'm looking for. Nothing has really changed. We still face this liquidation to the downside, and if we do break out to the upside, I really don't think you want to see us losing 260. I really don't think you want to see us losing about 44, 65-ish. 65 to about 58, somewhere around there. Anyway, it's become a rambling nonsense video. No trades for me tomorrow. No specific intraday plan. Biased along, just because lately the market for the past several months has simply shrugged off any data, whether it's been good or bad, and the market just responds with uppies, if you want to call it that. I would be looking for around 45.20-ish to get tagged, and from there we can see if we hold 65 to 85. That's what I'm looking for. We'll have a proper video for Thursday. Have a great night. Trade safe.